Mistress Harley.
Hello again, raggedy bitches. Welcome to the Awesome Podcast. We are not like other wrestling podcasts. Hello again, raggedy bitches. Welcome to the Awesome Podcast. We are not like other wrestling podcasts. No. Because we love AEW, and we're here for you pretty much every week. I am Mistress Harley, Dominatrix Extraordinaire. I'm here with my co-host, Johnny fucking Taylor. Say hello.
What's up, everybody? Raggedy bitches. We back at it. It's been a weird week.
You might remember our co-host Brendan, who's back from his world traveling adventures in my basement, locked in a cage. How are you, Brendan?
I am so fucking jet lagged right now.
Brendan,
I'm happy I'm back. I have missed the pod. I am so fucking tired though.
Well, jet lagged is the perfect way to watch wrestling. What better time than to watch men with energy and enthusiasm beat the shit out of each other? So we will start this week with Dynamite, which was on November 29th in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Jesus, it was last month.
It was last month, and it was freezing. I have friends, when I was in London, my friends that stayed with me, one of them lives in Minneapolis, and he was like, it is beyond freezing there. So that sounds like a nightmare. They were probably they walked out of the plane. They probably all got sick, freezing. Anyways,
they all got
that explains why the crowd was like holding themselves and screaming, probably to generate like body heat, right?
Honestly, probably.
Yeah, Minneapolis is such a great market for wrestling. The old AWA from Minneapolis.
Yeah. I mean, anywhere it's cold and there's nothing to fucking do, wrestling is there for you, my people, my raggedy bitches.
They need to go to Appleton.
Appleton.
Appleton's cold, I think.
So
near Green Bay.
We started off with the Continental Classic with Jon Moxley, Mr. Paquette versus Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal, one of the hardest working guys in the business. Moxley defeated Lethal via submission and was the first one to get on the confusing Sudoku board that is the Continental Classic. Did you guys watch it? Did you like it?
Yeah, I watched it. It's Moxley looked like he hurt himself like legit in this match. He was favoring his knee quite a bit.
Yeah, he landed on his knee bad, right?
Yeah.
It didn't seem fake this time around. And that's something that, I mean, again, it's been a hot minute, but I remember when I started watching this, you could tell, like, I kind of had a hard time telling, but after a few months, all of a sudden it's like, wait, you can see it, and this one really, I don't know, man. I don't know about that.
It was rough. It was rough to watch, even on the replay, but I respect AEW will show you the botch replays. They'll show you, like, there's knee bent fucking backwards. Other promotions will try to cover it up when someone has had an actual accident. But just like NASCAR, half of us are there for the accidents.
Right.
You said
I have a controversial take on this match. I think they should have put Jay Lethal over here, and here's why. I think just to make it seem like he had a chance at all in it, because you could still have Moxley make up the points, to get into the semifinal round. I just think like everybody knew, like, okay, they're definitely gonna put Moxley over, and it's just like, just throw a little curve in there and have Jay Lethal get 3 points, because now it's just like Jay Lethal's just gonna put everybody over. It's just like, I don't know, but that's just a nitpick. But obviously Moxley, I'm sure Moxley's going to go deep in this tournament. So,
if you guys have ever read the play, The Elaborate Entrance of Chad Deity, which is all about the mace, all about the workers in wrestling. Yeah. I mean, Jay Lethal's a mace. He works hard to put other guys over, and that's why he gets to wrestle Ric Flair,
Right. I love Jay Lethal. I think he's criminally underrated and always has been. And I get it. He's long in the tooth. He's not over like a lot of some of these top guys are right now. But I just think it would have been kind of cool just to have like this. Well, maybe Lethal's got a chance. You know, it creates like this intrigue, and you could still fake it with Moxley going over the other people. But
Brendan, which one of these men do you like?
I'm going to say Moxley today, but let's reassess this in 2 weeks.
Ooh.
I changed my mind quite a bit. And again, I'm a bit jet lagged, so I'm a bit foggy and a bit out of it. I'm going to say Moxley for now. But we're going to put a pin in this. We're going to circle back in 2 weeks, and we're going to see if you know what, how about this? Oh, God, it's not the Wendy Williams show. You can't clap. Raggedy bitches. Who do you think I'm going to change my mind? Yes or no? Just tweet something or something like that, and we'll see who's right in a few weeks.
The people will have opinions.
Yes.
Listen, if it was the Wendy Williams show and it was live, I'd be all right. Clap if you think I'm going to change my mind. Clap if not, but it's not.
We're going to have to start taking callers to see what's up, Brendan.
Oh, dude, that's for real. We definitely should have a segment where we take callers.
We'll start with all of our favorites on Twitter. Shout out to the X people. Okay, but I have to talk about this promo from Eddie Kingston that came after. He looked like the guy in the hallway that's going to bum $5 from you. He's like, I am broken and I am humble. Nothing like a man telling you he's so humble, right?
Yeah, he came off very defeated.
I mean, am I the only one that listens to men, and when they tell me they're broken ass losers, I'm like, hey, I guess you're broken ass loser.
Right. Believe men when they tell you that.
I believe them.
Yeah.
Do you like Eddie Kingston, Brendan? Do you even remember who Eddie Kingston is?
I honestly,
He's not real fashionable.
He's not like
So no strong feelings. Eddie, maybe have a shave, a shower. You know, I need more gimmicks. Like if you don't come with a gimmick will be provided to you. So Eddie Kingston, until you give me a gimmick, you are Eddie Kingston the bum.
Damn.
She said it. And no, but honestly, you have a point with that, because it's like there's so many people. And, you know, we have We have Dynamite, we have Collision, it just goes on and on and on. So it's like, you need to be memorable. And if you don't have something about you to have that, I don't know, je ne sais quoi, it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, and we've already discussed too many Adams, too many J's, too many, like, we decided... a few weeks ago, we decided that Keith Lee was going to be Honey Bear Keith Lee, and I have remembered him ever since, Honey Bear Keith Lee.
I like that.
I believe that we should brainstorm a gimmick for every gimmickless wrestler. This is our nonprofit, we will bring a gimmick to you, the gimmickless. Yes.
I like that. And also we can help change up some names, kind of like the old Hollywood system, because I mean, think about it. You have like Mamie Van Doren. That's a name you remember, like, and I think her original name was like Joan, so it's like you need something. But
that's right.
Mimi Van Kingston. I think we're onto something.
Yeah, there you go. That's something.
I love it. Listen, I love Eddie Kingston. I've always loved him. He's kind of like that fucking New Yorker that kicks ass. Always gives it 100%. He's kind of fat, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But he just kind of looks like a normal dude that worked a construction job all day, had a few beers.
Your dad's friend at the barbecue is Eddie Kingston.
Right. Which I kind of liked. And we're going to get to Eddie Kingston more later on, but I feel bad for Eddie Kingston. We'll talk about it later.
Okay, right. Johnny doesn't like that I'm mean to Eddie Kingston. You can defend his honor later, but then we'll get to it. Speaking of gimmickless, I'm going with Crazy Eyes, Mark Briscoe versus Roosh, whose name is fun to say, and that's a gimmick.
It is.
On the board, Roosh defeated Briscoe and got 3 points on the board. So, I guess we have this like bracket system. There were some good moments. I mean, Roosh can take an ass kicking and still pop up and be like, I'm fine. and I respect that.
I actually liked this match. It wasn't like a 4-star, but it was definitely good. I love Mark Briscoe. I think he can make anything kind of fun. Rouge is somebody that I appreciate his skill. He doesn't do much for me for whatever reason. But boy, they're pushing him. I mean, he's got 6 points on the fucking math board that is this tournament.
Wrestling will teach you math.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty solid. I didn't hate it. It's pretty good.
Do you like either one of these men, Brendan?
Yeah.
I mean,
not a lot of razzmatazz.
This week again, I was a little out of it. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, Roosh is hot and Briscoe's got crazy eyes. So it's like hot guy versus crazy eyes. Just on this premise, who would you want to win?
Brendan?
I'm going for crazy eyes just because that's the wildest answer. If I said hot, that'd be too typical.
Well,
But
hot
crazy eyes
defeated crazy this time on the board.
Hoppy's crazy.
It did.
Once again.
Yeah. So, and then we also got a Sting and Ric Flair promo announcing the Sting retirement match. And Ric Flair, always inviting women to his hotel room, which at his age is really optimistic. Like, I know he's a legend, but who's fucking the Mummy just to say they did?
Yeah.
If you fucked the Mummy, please let us know. We're going to bring you on the show. We can talk about it.
Guest.
Hashtag awesome pod.
Yes.
If you fuck the Mummy, you're a co-host in my opinion.
And if you know someone who has, you can come on too. You won't be a co-host, but you'll be a little guest.
Yeah.
So,
If Seth's never fucked a Mummy, right?
Let me check. Let me get back to
check with him. You never can tell with Seth.
I mean,
I don't know.
He knew Jungle Boy.
Ooh.
He did. He did. Went to school with Jungle Boy and didn't realize it until the end of the episode.
We got Seth back.
Of recording the episode, not watching it. It was when we were recording.
What a revelation!
Yeah, it was wild. That was a big episode for us.
We've promised to discuss all the wrestlers' dicks on an episode. So if you have a wrestler's dick to discuss, hashtag AwesomePod on all the things.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that we got to dedicate a whole special episode to that.
We really do. Yeah. But until then, we'll discuss.
Or we do it as a live episode.
Oh, that's perfect.
There's unedited, just like Adam Copeland's F-bomb.
Yeah. You know the Sting Ric Flair promo, a source of much controversy, because I guess the live feed had Ric Flair's comment about bringing, and he limited it to ages. He was like, if you're 18 to 28 or something.
18 to 28. The Mummy only wants you if you're 18 to 28, so he can steal your youth, your life force.
He said that, and apparently, like, everybody in the back was like, oh God, is there a 7-minute delay? And so in the replay, they cut it out. They cut that line out, which is probably smart.
After 60 years of styling, profiling, kiss stealing, and inviting women to his hotel room, are people really surprised that Ric Flair is like only inviting certain ages of women over to his room? Ladies, if you've ever wanted to baby trap a rich man, Ric Flair is available to you.
He's ready to go.
I hear he's still got some Rolexes left you can take, ladies.
Yeah, he could. I mean, he might be out there pawning him, but that energy drink.
Woo!
That must be. I mean, I noticed that it wasn't there this week, like the Ric Flair energy drink signs, and it made it more aesthetically pleasant, for sure.
Johnny is mad about Ric Flair energy drinks. All right, okay.
I'm not mad. I just think it's wild when you have like the House of Black. It's all creepy, and then you got fucking some 70-year-old lunatic fucking caricature with Woo on the side. It just seems weird. But
what's creepier than an old man trying to sell you his juices?
It's so true. That's the House of Black should just have him as a caricature as their logo.
Oh yeah. I want that.
Man, this Ric Flair run. I can't wait to see what happens with it. It's something's going to go weird. I can only right now. I know something's going to go weird with this run. Mark my words. I'm saying it on the Awesome Pod. This Ric Flair run is going to end with some weird shit. I guarantee it.
I hope it ends with him going dark, putting on the Sting makeup, and then he's the fake Sting that we used to get in the 80s. Remember, there was like fake Sting and real Sting? What if they both become Sting and then they're one Sting? Like, that would work for me.
He needs a
I
lot
could get
of
behind
makeup.
that. That sounds like a Rick and Morty episode, and like honestly,
yes,
I can get behind that. I can get behind that.
Make it weird, says the Awesome Pod. Speaking of making it weird, MJF, he comes to the ring and cuts a promo about his upcoming championship defense against Samoa Joe. I don't know how, with his like bum knee and shit, he could possibly defeat a real Samoan. But, you know, he wants. He's going to try. He's going to be in Long Island. He's going to be visiting his mother. When I was at the live show, I was screaming at him, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And the people sitting next to me were like, you sound just like his mom. And I was like, that's what I was going for. I saw him look afraid, you guys.
Yeah, he did. I liked this promo quite a bit, actually. I thought it was awesome that MJF put over Samoa Joe, and while also shitting on WWE, where he's like, you know, he's misused and he never got to be their champion. And, you know,
which was true. Joe's great.
Joe is great. I mean, they kind of skipped over the fact that he was the NXT World Champion for like.
We all know NXT doesn't count.
One of the longest runs. I'm just saying. But at the same time, it's I thought it did like a lot to kind of put over Samoa Joe, especially I mean, he's an old head, you know, and a lot of these AEW kids are big fans of like indies, and Samoa Joe's been on major, you know, promotions for many years now. I thought it gave him a real good rub, and I liked it. I thought it was good business, this whole segment, in my opinion.
I like both of them. I like them having friendship or heat. Like, let them work together and play off of each other. It's kind of like improv. See where it goes. Give one of them a hat and see where it goes.
Right. Yeah, they're like, sell me a pen. Watch me go, you know?
Brendan, do you like MJF or Joe?
So there's a TikTok out there of a raccoon opening a dumpster, and that had more style and pizzazz than MJF. Samoa Joe's amazing and wonderful, and I just think he was great. Best of luck to him in his endeavors. I hope the raccoon, and he has his dumpster, so good for him.
Did you just call Long Island the raccoon dumpster of America? That's what I inferred.
Oh, baby, no, because he says he lives in Long Island. I bet you he's in Staten Island. I know that thing is like built on trash, and I know that he's standing on top of the trash, just like, yes, queen.
I already know all of MJF's cousins because they're my cousins too, and they all live in Jersey.
Yeah, he reeks of Jersey.
Doesn't he though?
He does.
He really does. Like, he doesn't have that Long Island. I have cousins on Long Island, and he's like that. He honestly is like Jersey trash. Like, he's not Long Island. Like, it's.
Is there any other type of person from Jersey? I mean, I'm kidding. I love New Jersey. They've been very kind to me over the years. Jersey's a good place. Jersey is a fun place. Jersey's awesome. I'm kidding.
Where is Coney Island? Is that in Jersey?
New York. That's Brooklyn.
It's
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Or no, that's Queens.
That's where the Nathan's hot dog eating contest happens, and that's my other favorite yearly sporting event.
Are you serious?
Oh, fuck yeah. Joey Chestnut is a hometown hero from the Bay, and he's the 17-time hot dog eating champion, 75 hot dogs in 5 minutes. Are you fucking kidding? Yes. Respect.
This This is the content you don't get on other wrestling podcasts.
I'm picturing like the Sex in the City, what is it? And Just Like That season 3 when they finally bring Samantha back and she's just watching him doing that.
Yeah.
And that's how the episode starts.
Yes. Yes, we'll do that all together. Hot dog eating contest on 4th of July. But moving back on to wrestling, the squash match between Wardlow and AR Fox, I found disappointing. Like most men, Wardlow can't last more than 5 minutes. He talks a big game, and then it's just over, and you're like, were you even in the ring, honey?
Yeah. This did nothing for either one of these guys. This was an absolutely fucking meaningless match. I hate to be too critical, but Wardlow at this point does absolutely nothing for me. And
remember when he did? Remember when there was a time when he was kind of cool?
Yeah. It's almost like they're trying to repackage him a little bit, but man, he doesn't even look cool right now. He looks weird. And I don't understand what they're doing. They're trying to get him in this kind of main event picture with this MJF shit. This was just the same fucking shit. Like,
yeah,
not my favorite.
You guys know, I think Wardlow's a little bitch, and he continues to be a little bitch. Wardlow, if you want to come on the podcast and talk about it, we're here.
You're always welcome. Always welcome, Wardlow.
Yeah, we'll roll out that red carpet we have for little bitches. But then we get what? We get Andrade and versus the Hardys and Brother Zay, kind of a mishmash match of the ages.
Mm-hmm.
And unsurprisingly, Andrade mostly defeated the Hardys and Zay. I'm a Hardys fan from way back, so I was disappointed.
I like Action Andretti though.
Yeah,
like I'm not like a stan, but like I liked him, and I thought it was fun.
I did think the match was fun, but
he's a good technical wrestler. Like he is. I want him to, again, have more of a gimmick. He takes off his mask when he comes in the ring. Like Action Andrade. I don't know. Give me more.
Like
You're married
that.
to a Flair,
Action Andrade, yeah. Again, going back to those names, they need to have like the fun, catchy names, but then they have to have a little gimmick to go with the name.
Yeah, like come in a little clown car or something.
Yeah, it was.
With MJF, what they do is they have the dump truck that comes from the city dump, and it just kind of pushes him out.
With all the seagulls around him.
Oh no, girl! He'll be talking, and one lands on him.
This was another one. It was like leg injury. I feel like I can't tell if everybody really has a leg injury or if they're just like write a leg injury into it. Like, what do you guys think?
This was weird because they showed it, like they showed him getting hurt, and I'm like, dude, that's like kind of a brutal injury to show. Like, just say, okay, he's coming back from a leg injury. Do we have to like show it? It seemed weird. I like Dante Martin a lot. I think he's super young and he just does he's very athletic, and I thought he looked great and kind of especially during that babyface comeback he had.
Yeah.
I thought and the crowd was into it. Like that guy, he could really do something, I think. I don't know about Darius, his brother, who he's solid, but Dante's got like the star quality about
Dante Martin is good, but again, a man tragically born without a gimmick. What do we give this guy? Come on, what's a good gimmick?
That's one of those things. I think they're going to figure it out. I really do. I don't know what it will be, but I think they will figure it out with him. Like what they did with Julia Hart. She had like the cheerleader gimmick. She was with those two guys, Griff and
icon, legend.
And what they've done with Julia Hart is so genius. So I mean, I think they can. I think that they'll figure it out.
And it works. Like they really, they really built her up, and they really like. She is now like a legend, an icon, and it works. She's fun.
Make it spooky. That's what I'm always saying. Now she's like spooky, and so you have something to attach to. You're like, yeah, I like this bitch. She's hot and she's spooky. Like, I know what's up with that.
Yeah.
We should get her on the pod too.
I would love that.
Yeah, same.
backstage, we get my like 3 favorite luchadors. We get Penta, El Zorro, Miejo, Vikingo, and Commander. They issue a challenge to the winners. And you guys know I like Lucha Libre. I think the Lucha guys are like the Cirque du Soleil people. They're like the ones that can tightrope walk and jump and do 360s onto other men. It's a violent Cirque du Soleil. So we'll talk about that match because we got to watch it also. But back to your love of Julia Hart, Brendan. We had Julia Hart versus Emi Sakura. And, of course, Hart defeated Sakura to retain. I love both of these bitches.
Yes. Both are extremely good. And they always put on, they put on a good show. And they're both fun. They're both exciting to watch. And like, it's been amazing watching Julia kind of grow over the past year. I mean, like, I remember for months, I was so annoyed that she wasn't doing jack shit. And now it's like, look at her go. Look at this.
Yeah, she's super over with the crowd too.
Oh yeah, they were chanting her name. We could even hear on TV, Julia, Julia. And it's so cool when the crowd is loud enough that we at home know who they want to win and who they don't. Because sometimes they're like so quiet. You're like, are they even watching this match? Are they texting their girlfriends? Like, what's up?
Yeah, totally. And they were definitely engaged, which I thought was awesome. I thought the match was pretty good. So Julia Hart, who has, in my opinion, the best moonsault in all of wrestling, whether it's male, female, it looks so fucking clean. It looked like Sakura was trying to like roll out of the way, so she only got it like partially, but she still got the win. But yeah, I think Julia Hart, the sky's the limit. She's just captivating. She's super
and she's so young and beautiful, And it's like she'll have a huge, long, beautiful career if she does not break her neck. Neck strong, Julia Hart.
Right. Be careful. Be careful out there.
Yeah, for real. It's a neck battlefield.
It is.
So then we get another Christian Cage, Adam Copeland, kind of like talking at each other. They're having a meeting, discussing their shared history, talking about each other's moms, promoting their main event in Montreal. I mean, I don't know. These guys are just like 2 old boyfriends that have breakfast together, but still say that they hate each other all the time. Like, those guys.
I have comedian friends that it's like that. We'll go out and then like the next day we're like, oh my God, I had to spend an hour with this guy.
It's like that in the film world too. It's everywhere, and it's quite annoying. It's like so don't hang out with them. Like,
why are we having this meeting?
Like, I know it is silly to do that. Did you notice that Christian called Killswitch Luchasaurus? I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, this motherfucker named him, and then he fucked up because on his own weak ass nickname that he gave him.
Just like a real patriarch, if you have like brothers and sisters, your dad is screaming like, "Hey, Jen!" when he's talking to Brett or whatever the fuck. It's just like your mom is always yelling your name and she's yelling at dogs. Like,
yeah, I'm telling you, this would not have happened if they would have called him Yoshi. Everybody would remember it. Just call him Yoshi.
I think Johnny's moving that we all start to call Luchasaurus Yoshi, and I'm kind of on board with that.
I think it's cute.
I could see it.
He comes out and it's kind of like, it looks fully like a Yoshi cosplay, but kind of mean. I think it'd be dope. I actually really liked the segment. I thought these Christian versus
Johnny's the mark for old men talking.
I love it. I know. Imagine that. I just think I love the storyline, and I think they just do really good work together. You can just see the chemistry between the two. Been working with each other for 30 years. It's fucking. I think that they're doing good shit with that storyline. I'm still into it.
And I like that. I know secretly they're friends. I know that like when they kick each other in the balls, they're leaning in like, "Hey, we're gonna go to meet at the IHOP later." Like, I love that shit. I do.
Right. Yeah, he's like moons over Miami like normal.
Yeah. Pro tip to you listeners, if you ever want to catch wrestlers after a live event, just go to the nearest Denny's IHOP 24-hour diner. They will all be there trying to get the most calories in their bodies as they possibly can.
Yeah, that's true. Or comics too. If you want.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know.
Goes for comedians too. We want you to show up there any time of the day.
I mean, half the time you guys are eating a hot dog on stage, so it's like we know where you guys are going.
Chicken wings.
Oh, I love a good chicken wings moment.
Oh, me too. I might fuck with those tomorrow. We'll see. Could be on the agenda.
Yeah, you know what everybody loves on the podcast is people eating. Yeah, everyone loves to listen to people eat chicken wings on a podcast.
Just smacking it up.
I'm truly a sadist. That's how you guys know. Back to the Continental Classic. Switchblade, Jay White versus Swerve Strickland. And of course, whose house is it?
Swerve's house.
He's like my favorite, and probably because he's like really hot. He's
very
hot.
Same. Swerve is he's the moment right now.
You know how I feel about Swerve. He's the shit.
He is, and after the death match, he has my utmost respect. Once you staple yourself, once you hurt you for me, like,
yeah, chef's kiss.
Yeah, and of course we had Prince Nana dancing, swerving the whole time. I love that his shirt shows you like the Macarena. It shows you how to do the Nana dance. That's good. I don't know. Switchblade is like, he still talks big.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be kind of bumming out because he had such a great run where he stole the belt, but he is not the favorite in this, clearly at this point, and I would be shocked if Swerve Strickland didn't win this tournament.
Me too. I mean, the live shows, there's too much love for him. Even during this match, Switchblade was like beating him up and then like, whose house is it? And people were still like, Swerve's house. The crowd was behind Swerve strong.
Yeah. And I should say before we move on, this was a fucking fantastic match. Talk about two guys that can really work. They're really good. It was really, really good.
He's too good to ignore, and so yeah, I think we see it. We see him getting the push as he rightfully deserves. And hey, you know what? Switchblade gets to be in the ring with greatness, so that's got to do something for him.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah,
I actually completely agree with that.
Keeping him out of your local Renaissance fair. So, did I miss anything on that one?
I think we're good. Yeah, that was Swerve now has 6 points, and Jay White only has 3.
Oh.
If you know what any of that means, you're doing better than half of us.
We should use the graphic, the Sudoku board graphic. We should have that up somewhere on the video feed. Maybe
we gotta insert that.
We need editors.
I'll have my tech guy look at it.
Oh, okay, good.
I don't have one. Nah. Very, very low budget here.
I thought you knew people.
I can bring somebody in.
Okay, so because we are playing catch up from Everybody's World Travels, we're going to move straight on to Collision from December 2nd, right? We
should still rate Dynamite.
Oh, you're right. We should rate Dynamite separately. You're right.
Yeah, I think we should. I'm actually. What should we rate it with?
Dead Hardy Boys.
Yeah, I mean, something like a dead
or injured legs. Injured legs.
Oh, yeah.
Injured legs. Injured legs.
Yeah. Snapped legs. I thought it was solid, but I didn't think it was great. I'm going to go with 3.5 snapped legs on this one.
I'm going with 2 snapped legs because what this was a builder. They're just starting with the Continental Classic. They're getting us used to the rules. They're getting us used to the board. They're getting us used to everything. So, it's a little foreplay, really.
I agree. They're rubbing it a little bit, but they're not putting it in their mouth.
Yeah, they're just licking it.
They're licking
I'm going to say 2.5. However, I'm also going to answer with a question that Johnny or Mistress Harley might be able to answer. Do you guys think that they plan out kind of like the big cities where like big events actually happen versus like the smaller cities? So if it's like a smaller city, it's kind of just like not necessarily a throwaway episode, but kind of just like And then when it's in like a bigger city like New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, it's like a bigger major thing. Do you think they do that? I haven't been focused too much on finding that out, but more recently I've been a little more curious about that.
I think so, because if you just look at the size of those arenas, they're small, and brass tacks of business means you can only make so much money, even if you sell out every seat. Selling out every seat at Wembley is really different than selling out every seat at the Kia Forum. But, I like the Forum, but yeah, it's not the same.
Right. And I do think there's something to that. So Dynamite was in Minneapolis, which is like this rich wrestling tradition in Minneapolis, and then Collision was in Erie, PA, which it also has, like, as far as like live events go, it's a staple market for wrestling events. But the Collision, and we'll talk about it, Collision was much better than Dynamite, in my opinion, this week. I thought it was, as far as in-ring shit, it was actually one of my favorite Collisions in like a long time. So we'll get to it. But so it's almost like I thought Minneapolis would probably be a better market for like a big show, but Erie had a better card, in my opinion. So I don't know.
And the cards sometimes can't be planned. You can't plan on who's going to be injured, who's going to have surgery. I ask again, if you have seen the Acclaimed, please contact me on Twitter at Mistress Harley T is my safe for work account. But like, I'm worried about the Acclaimed. They've been missing now. Like, where the fuck are they?
They were not in England, and they were not in Denmark, and they were not in Italy, and they were not in the Netherlands.
I'm so glad you were looking for them, Brendan.
No, but I have that random cross paths. I have that random, like, I might cross paths with them. Who knows?
Yeah. They were not in San Francisco. I was there all weekend. Didn't see them.
I mean, when we were at LA, Diana and I scissored, but I didn't get to scissor everybody. There was no Acclaimed.
I didn't even, Mistress Harley and I were in the same building. We didn't even cross paths. So.
Diana and I were in the privileged people level, Johnny.
Yeah. We're in the back. We're looking down, going like, "Oh, Mistress Harley and Diana look like they're having so much fun."
And we were.
They're just like right there.
Yeah, I was sitting right next to Rick Rubin, who was in front of us, laughing at my jokes. That was fun.
Good Lord.
Rick, if you want to come on the show, like, come talk to us.
we had Eli Roth's brother was near us, which was kind of cool.
Eli Roth has a brother?
You'd think he could afford better seats.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We didn't have bad seats. Let it be stated. We had good seats, but we didn't have great seats. Like,
okay, but we have to move on to Collision. Otherwise, we'll just talk about who we saw at the show, how you guys saw us, and you were so far away and could not touch. But back to Collision.
It was touching, but no wrestlers were being touched.
So Collision opened with Claudio versus Brody King. Brody King, whose gimmick is full body tattoos. Claudio, whose gimmick is I'm European. Both of these guys are good technical wrestlers, which I like. I was surprised to see Brody on top of Claudio. But, Claudio's a great wrestler, but Brody is a much larger man.
Yeah, this was really fun. I thought this was a great way to start Collision, because both these guys, like, not only can really, like, go, but it looks really, really impactful. Every move looked really impactful. And, I thought it was really good. And I thought it was cool to put Brody over Claudio,
Claudio's like an ant. He's like someone who can lift more of his body weight than he should be able to. And so it's always impressive to see him wrestle somebody who is actually physically larger, because you're like, oh shit, he just picked up that 300-pound dude. Like,
right. And Claudio hit this like flying European uppercut from off the
Yeah.
ceiling.
Yeah.
Dude, so cool. It looks so dope. Came across really, really good. We should say fuck Claudio, since
fuck
we didn't
Claudio.
really mention that Diana's not here right now.
I know.
She will be back. She's had a crazy schedule. So Raggedy Bitches, we know. You want Darcy the Mail Girl on the show. We get it. We want her here too.
She will be back.
She'll be back next week.
Yeah. So
fuck Claudio in her honor.
Fuck Claudio. I mean, Brody King must have gotten the memo because he ripped the padding off of the barricade and then threw Claudio against it. So felt a little personal, maybe. There's not a lot of story, but it felt personal.
Right. I think he listened. He must be a listener of the podcast. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, he knows what's up.
I do like that. How every once in a while we'll say something on here, and then all of a sudden they'll make a little tweak like that on the show, and you often wonder. You're like,
It's the awesome effect for sure.
Maybe they do listen every once.
We are in the top 100 wrestling podcasts, and there's more than 100. You guys.
There's so many more than 100. Yeah, there's actually. I looked. There's like over 1,000 wrestling podcasts.
That's right.
But we've peaked. We've been high. We've been at like number 12 before. A lot of time we're in the top 40, but yeah, we've been consistently in the top 100 since the inception of this podcast. It's because of raggedy bitches like you out there.
That's right.
We
love raggedy bitches. We might abuse you, but it's because we love you.
True.
Speaking of abuse, though, the return of Abaddon. Some of the listeners said we should have Abaddon on the podcast, and I would love that. She's spooky. She's strong. She's a badass. It was her fighting Kiera Hogan, who looked great, but Abaddon got the win. But she's so good. Of course she did.
Yeah, I love that they're pushing Abaddon. She kind of disappeared for a minute, and
I don't think I've seen her. Like I noticed that I was like, I don't recognize who this is, but I
was it her incredible hair?
Oh,
yeah. Of course.
She just looks great. She her aesthetic is fucking awesome, and them teasing a feud with her and Julia Hart, I'm here for it.
Spooky versus spooky. Amazing. Yes.
Spooky Fest.
Spooky Fest 2024. I'm here for it. But accidentally, the match kind of ended up looking like an evil demon versus Ariel, the Little Mermaid, because Kiera Hogan kind of had a little like Ariel vibe going on, and I liked it.
Yeah, it was like Ursula versus the Little Mermaid. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was a good match. And Abaddon's whole aesthetic, like the fact that she does her hair and the costumes and the constant screaming, yes. She screams when she wins. She screams when she loses. She's terrifying, and I love that about her.
Yeah, I do too. I love her gimmick for sure. And she's a good worker.
She really is.
Rabadon.
She puts on a good show.
Fuck yeah. After that, we get, Naughty Dancer, Daniel Garcia versus Andrade, and El Idolo, the idol. I appreciate that like half of the people hate Daniel Garcia and his sexy dancing. Some people are like, this is not appropriate in wrestling. Like, go on, police the wrestling. Stop the men from dancing.
The pearl clutchers amongst them.
Yeah.
I thought this match was dope. I thought it was a banger. I thought
it was quite fun.
They both look good. I think Daniel Garcia, honestly, I hope they realize kind of what they have in him. I think he could be a big star with the right gimmick. I really do.
I think they're kind of, I mean, I need to see how it goes the next like few weeks, but it seems like they're, I'm trying to think of, like a month ago, but I think they're slowly starting to see it. They're a bit slow at it, but I think there's something there.
Yeah, he's another guy so young, and I get putting Andrade over, and Daniel Garcia has yet to pick up a win in this tournament. But I hope they have him pick up at least one like major win in this, just to give him a little bit of love, because
I want him to fight Daddy Magic and do a little sexy dance over Daddy Magic's body.
Oh, now we're talking. now.
Because Daddy Magic on the commentary the whole time was like calling the cameraman a pervert.
Called
and
him a perv.
Dude, it was like fucking Footloose. Like, are you not allowed to dance in this town?
I know, it's very funny. I enjoyed that, actually. I thought it was Daddy Magic's so funny. Like, talk about a guy that, like, he should have a future as a manager, because he would be a great mouthpiece for somebody.
You're right, he would. And quite frankly, I like him on the mic a little bit better in the ring.
Yeah, I agree.
But so many daddies.
Daddies.
Too many daddies. Brendan, how do you feel about Daniel Garcia's sexy dance?
I don't know if I'd call it sexy. I would call it, you know, when you go out to WeHo and you have that one friend and like, it's, you know, maybe like 1:15 in the morning and they've had just the right amount of drinks where they're just like, watch me, I'm Britney Spears, and they proceed to dance and then just fall and crash into someone. It was reminding me of that.
Just last week, Darcy and I discussed, is Danny's dance sexy or sad? Is it for the stripper in the room alone, or is it a power dance? Darcy says power dance. I say
girl, I'm saying desperate. It's desperate. It's not power. It's desperation.
Dang.
What do you think,
Darcy would fight you on that.
She would. Oh, it'd be glorious.
Ooh, watch Brendan and Darcy fight it out next week on the Awesome Pod.
We've seen it a lot of times over the months.
I love it. And I'll say one thing and then she'll gasp and be like, oh, no, take it back. And I'm like, but it's the truth. I can't. Like,
mimosas will be served and punches will not be pulled on the Awesome Pod.
Yes, so very true. Very true.
So our next match was a clusterfuck of Iron Savages versus the Kingdom, House of Black, and Daniels and Seidel. It was a good old clusterfuck match with the Kingdom defeating the Iron Savages. It was quick considering how many dudes were in the ring.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah,
I nominate a gimmick for Matt Seidel, another man born without a gimmick. I will call him the Frog. He does a great frog splash. He reminds me a little bit of Rob Van Dam. He's a jumpy, bouncy little fucker. You can't hold on to him. He's too fast. The Frog, Matt Seidel.
Yeah, I like Matt Seidel, and Christopher Daniels is a legend in my opinion. As far as in-ring, one of the greatest to ever do it. But I mean, it's just. They don't really have a. There's what is it? You know what I mean? It seemed like just fodder for House of Black. Even though I thought the match was actually pretty good, pretty fun.
I like Seidel, and I thought the match was good, but I've said this before on the pod. House of Black ends up just being their dusty, like, just everybody in the ring all the time. There are no rules. It's just, you got 5 guys, you got 2 guys, there are no tags, don't matter. The ref just looks as confused as the rest of us.
Right. And I like the tease with FTR kind of confronting House of Black.
Oh, yeah. Come to the dark side. The Siths want you. Just kill all those Jedi children, FTR.
Yeah, they kind of teased them kind of inviting FTR. First off, FTR joining House of Black would be the weirdest, like, that would make no sense at all. So
I want it.
The tease of it's even kind of funny to me. But FTR did not look interested in that. And I think it was funny that they, like, House of Black kind of even, like, intimated that like nobody came out to save you. You know, it's like, what? Dude, come on.
It reminds me of like the goth kids trying to get the jocks to smoke weed in the parking lot.
Right. That's 1,000% it, you know, because FTR is so like, they're like these good old boy, like old school athletes, and them being like, come on, smoke a clove for this.
Yeah. Oh my God, clove cigarettes. How dare you bring up my old shit?
I know. They're out there.
Not the head turn, not the nostalgic, like,
Yeah.
Tony Storm.
Okay, wait, hold up. The one you did before that, where you looked up, I was like, oh, okay, cover girl. All right. No, the other one. There we are.
Now we're posing. For those of you only listening to audio, we do this on video too, and you can find that shit on YouTube.
I want to give House of Black some flowers here. Buddy Matthews countered Matt Seidel's Sunset Flip in a way that was completely unique. And also Malachi Black backflipped out of a powerbomb. And I thought that was fucking incredibly dope. So big ups to those guys can really go, which I love.
There were really good spots. And I know some wrestling fans are like, oh, it was a spot fest. Like, that's a bad thing. Like, give me the spot fest. Do a bunch of tricks. Fucking entertain me. I'm here to be entertained.
Yeah. And those guys, I have criticisms of House of Black, but mostly just how they're booked. But they're fucking real fun to watch. Like, incredible workers, all of them. So.
But Brendan, do you feel a certain way about House of Black, about any of these men? Does Buddy Matthews hulking out of his pants make you uncomfortable, or do you like it?
I don't really care. Like, I mean, I don't really care. I'm just, listen, I do love the House of Black. I think they're a great team. But, I mean, aesthetically, I'm just like,
Brendan needs more aesthetics. I hope you hear them, everybody. But we need, speaking of aesthetics, though, our next match was Kip Sabian versus El Hijo de Vikingo. Vikingo for short.
Vikingo.
Incredible. They're both incredible, but I love Vikingo, and he did win this one. But you guys know, I think luchadors are better. I just think they're better. They work harder. They are flippier. They know that they are real life superheroes. He brought out the AAA championship with him. I love that AEW lets wrestlers bring their belts from other promotions. Like, hey, I'm legit. Look at my fucking belt from somewhere else. And then style, all cloaks and daggers and fur coats, which I know Darcy wouldn't approve of, but style.
Have you gone to Lucha Vavoom?
Yes, I have. I love Lucha
Isn't it
Vavoom.
Fun?
It is fun.
It's okay. Johnny, have you gone?
I haven't gone, I'm up here.
It's an experience. We should all go. Like, that is something that we should all go to.
But I do go to Hood Slam in Oakland, if you guys
Hood Slam! This is real!
Yes. I've performed at Hood Slam. I've done stand-up
nice.
There. And it's one of the real, like, you want to experience indie wrestling on like a really fucking real level. Hood Slam is the shit.
Hood Slam is the shit. And Hood Slam produces big superstars like Shotzi Blackheart, who's now in the WWE. She started at Hood Slam as my favorite Missy High as shit. And then became Pizza Cat, and then eventually got picked up by WWE. But like, shout out Oakland, Hood Slam, Shotzi Blackheart.
Hood Slam's the shit. I want about this match specifically. I thought it was too short. I thought it was fucking awesome. They fit in a lot of stuff in about 9 minutes, but Vikingo's amazing. He's like a human highlight reel. But I got to give props to Kip Sabian, who is also really fucking good. Like,
they were both great.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they had really good chemistry. Really, really fun match. I really liked it.
Brendan, do you have feelings about these two men?
They could be more entertaining. I felt like it needed a little more caffeine. Red Bull. What's the American word?
What's the American word? You're insane.
The American word was Brendan was drunk through the match and didn't realize how good it was. So
that's the best thing right now. For the next probably 2 days, I don't need anything because I'm already so out of it because this time change. It's like,
I love it.
I forgot about this whole going there is easy. Coming back.
No.
I always forget about that.
So, I thought this was one of my favorite matches, honestly, the Vikingo match. Mm-hmm. After that, we get Bryan Danielson, Eddie Kingston, and Daniel Bryanson. I can never. Daniel
Bryanson.
No,
I like that. Daniel Bryanson. I like that one.
Like,
What's up, Brandel?
you cannot do this to people where you just fucking mess up your name a little bit. We're always gonna dead name you. I'm sorry.
It's
No, I'm not sorry. Fuck Daniel Bryan. Anyway, Bryan Danielson.
Girl, I'm sure someone did. I am sure someone did, and they
Dude,
regretted it after.
Brie Bella.
Brie Bella.
I thought you were gonna say Brie Lawson. I'm like, excuse me.
No, but shout out to Brie Larson, Sacramento 916. What's up?
Shout out to Brie Bella for banging Daniel Bryanson.
Daniel Bryanson. I love it. That's what he'll forever be known as now.
Look, if people can't remember your name when they're high, how do you expect them to watch wrestling? Come on.
That's true.
But so Bryan Danielson defeated a guy asking for your money at a gas station, Eddie Kingston. He wore the eye patch the whole time. We got a whole lot of talk about his orbital bones. Oh, his little sissy orbital bones. I don't know. I'm sick of men telling me how injured and broken they are. Wrestling used to be a place where guys told me they were strong and tough and the fucking cream of the crop. And now they're all like, I'm hurt.
It's true. Kayfabe is, in a way, I wish kayfabe was. Remember when someone got hurt back in the day? They just disappeared. Rick Rude would be on, and then something happened, but you never knew about it. He was just off TV for 6 weeks. We do know a little bit too much about what's actually happening in regards to injuries and stuff, I think. But the dirt sheets and the internet has changed. I could go on, but it is true that we do know too much, I think, sometimes. But I want to say I fucking love this match. I thought this match was hella dope. It was a great TV match. And they told a really great story. And, Kingston's desperation, being like, I'm about to lose. I'm about to not have any points in this tournament. I put both my belts up. He had that moment where he flipped off Bryan Danielson. And then he's like, no. That moment that he realized that, he is not going to win this fucking tournament. It was dope. It was really good. I enjoyed it.
Showing a gambler's regret's probably good for the young men in the audience.
Yeah. It was cool. The storytelling of it was like, oh wow, this guy's like, I fucking gambled on myself and it's fucking not paying off.
That's right. Never bet on yourself. That's the moral.
If you listen, I could have told you that at the beginning of podcast 1. Do not bet on yourself. You're gonna lose.
Johnny, is it true you have a whole other wrestling podcast?
I don't have another wrestling podcast. This is my only wrestling. I'm dedicated.
The one and only.
He says that to all the podcasts. I'm sure.
I've had a lot of podcasts in my life, but this is the only one. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I want to know.
The longer you talk, the more insincere it is.
I've dicked around with so many.
This is a side of Johnny I've never heard of before. Keep going, Johnny. Let's see how far you get with this.
Yeah,
we got this raggedy bitch on defense.
yeah. Let me see how many metaphors I can make talking about all my past affairs with podcasts. But it's no. This is my one and only. This is my.
All right. Well, speaking of one and only. The one thing I did leave out was there was a Tony Storm and Sky Blue individual promos backstage. Tony Storm was mean to Renee Paquette, which I don't like because I like Renee.
I loved it. I love Renee, but I love that she was like, where's RJ City? Where's RJ City? And I'm like, RJ City is a friend of the podcast, so I'm always going to love when he even gets mentioned in passing.
And Sky Blue gave a good promo too, where she was like, I don't like your drama. I want to see these women take off their earrings and shoes and fight. They're both. Watch out for that shoe. If you see a woman, this is a pro tip, listeners. If you see a woman taking off her earrings and her shoes, you run. That bitch is coming for you. And so that shit's real.
Yeah, I agree. And also, I thought Sky Blue gave great face during this promo.
She did.
If you just watch her face while Tony Storm's talking, fucking chef's kiss. So good. This was the best Sky Blue didn't even say much, and I thought it was her best promo segments she's had since she's been in AEW.
She said enough. She was serious. She was like, I'm coming for you, and I don't need to do all the shit that you do, like all the, oh my God. But I appreciate that that's real woman heat. When bitches fight, that's the shit it's about.
Yeah, it was, I dug it. I like that segment. I love Toni Storm. I think she can literally make anything gold at this point. But Sky Blue, I got to credit to. I thought that was one of her best segments she's had.
I'm looking forward to seeing them fight it out, like for real, not holding it back.
Yeah, and I hope they, I hope they really build it over the next couple of weeks to the promo, because I think that could be really fun.
I think it's going to be. So, did I miss anything on this episode, boys? Do you remember anything?
I don't think so.
I
think you hit it all.
I always do it all, Brendan. Yeah.
Yes, girl. That's why we got you. I have to say though, this format, I honestly, I love having you on, because like I love how it's like it moves, you know, because I know in the past we'll get off on tangents, but you do such a good job at like being like, okay, great, that was hot, but you know it's hotter. Let's talk about the next one. It's like, awesome.
Yeah, Mistress Harley knows how to make a room full of men do what she wants. That's how I roll.
That's true. I'm very compliant.
Speaking of compliance, we have to rate this episode, and then we have to do awards.
Let's do it.
I give this episode, we need to establish a new measuring system, a new metric we develop every episode. It's algorithmic, based on our most intense moments of the episode. I think eye patches, giant eye patches.
That eye patch had its own zip code. That was the biggest eye patch I've ever seen in my life.
The eye patch is going to get its own tiny belt. I give this one 3.5 eye patches, because there was a lot going on. They gave me a lot of meat in the sandwich. They're still building, but it's a little more than foreplay now.
Yeah. This was the best episode of Collision in a minute, in my opinion. I'm going to give it a solid 4 eye patches.
Brendan?
I want to give it a 3.
Dang.
I want to give it a 3.
Dang, okay.
I accept your 3. No notes.
I almost gave it a 2.5, but like because Collision is always my favorite out of all of these. Like Collision is my favorite, and it's because it's fun. It has that. It's colorful. It has this campy vibe to it.
It does. It's definitely campier, which I do dig. And remember when we were having the first few episodes of Collision, we had Joe Bob on, and we were all such Collision fanboys, and Diana was not. She was just like, I don't know, like Dynamite. But we were so on board with Collision, and then it had a bad few months. And I'm not going to say whether that coincided with the fact that the person that they hired to basically be the face of Collision got fired. But I think
if the glove fits.
Yeah, I think losing one Bill Phil definitely affected Collision for a minute, but I think they're getting back on track.
Do we talk about the quitting of QT Marshall? Do we even care? I always thought he kind of sucked. Another man without a gimmick.
Yeah, QT was just a crashing bore to me. But so when they were like QT Marshall leaves, I'm like, I don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean?
He's the guy that busts out the acoustic guitar at the party.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I totally do.
Yeah.
And I've known that guy over the years. And he just doesn't. Yeah, he always came off as like a guy that's like, he uses that he's a pro wrestler to try to like get people's numbers online. I have no evidence of that. He just seems kind of like that kind of guy to me.
Well, now he doesn't work at AEW, and so fuck him.
Yeah, I would, and everybody's like, maybe he'll show up in WWE, and I'm like, no, I don't see it.
No,
I highly doubt it. What the fuck are they going to do with him?
I think we did see a picture of Ricky Starks visiting the WWE, didn't we?
We did. That did get floated online.
Fucking traitor.
Well, I know Ricky is very good friends, as is QT Marshall. very good friends with Cody. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see Ricky end up over there, and they would probably do something with him. So
well, I mean, leave Jericho alone. Like, so fuck him.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we have awards to give, and we're going to combine awards because too many awards, no one can keep track.
Yeah, we'll combine.
Does anyone remember the names of our awards? Because usually Darcy runs awards.
Oh, I do. So we have the John Holmes Dick of the Week.
Which, obviously, there's only one person that can go to. And we'll all say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. MJF.
Shit!
It doesn't matter that he's the biggest babyface in the promotion. He'll always be a heel to Brendan.
He'll be a little trash panda.
You know what? That means you feel feelings about him, and just like sex, that's good. Because if you don't feel feelings about him, that's worse than hating him in wrestling. That just means MJF's doing a good job at making you feel things, dude. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, indifference is the enemy. You just don't want indifference.
So, okay, we have MJF. Johnny, who's your dick of the week?
My dick of the week is going to be Kip Sabian, because he said in a promo that Vikingo's the most overrated wrestler on AEW's roster. That's just false. I'm sorry, Kip Sabian.
I'm going with Christian. A, fuck the patriarchy. B, don't talk about people's moms. C, like, yeah, I know you were kids once, but none of that matters now because you're grown-ass adults.
Right. We could honestly change the award to the Christian award at this point. He has been the biggest dick so many times for months. So honorary Christian Cage dick of the week.
Mistress Harley can change anyone's mind. All right. Dewey Riley, hero of the week?
Yeah, this one was tough for me because I'm going to get in the weeds about the tournament. But the tournament has definitely affected storyline a little bit, because it's like sports now, where it's like we have these matches and people aren't really allowed to be ringside, and it's super regimented. So I'm actually going to say my hero of the week is MJF, and here's why.
Johnny, I just got back from a long trip, and you're here saying this nonsense. Why?
Brendan, to be fair, I think MJF's promo was everything a great babyface should do. And also, he put over Samoa Joe in a way that I thought was like, it came off super genuine. And so I got to give it to MJF. Really good.
What would Rosie O'Donnell say?
She would have been so happy to be singing and shit. You know, she loves him.
WWRDS? Really, Brendan?
What would Rosie O'Donnell do? I'm getting my wristband.
We have added the Ric Flair Best Dressed Flyest Outfit of the Week award. Brendan, I don't know if you remember that or if you were here for that.
No, that was during vacation.
Yes, this week, Abaddon. Fucking Abaddon. She brings the hair. She brings the outfit. She brings the makeup. She brings the attitude. She makes me excited. Abaddon, call me.
Yes.
I agree. I'm going with Abaddon, too.
It's Abaddon.
Hey, unanimous. Yes, I like it.
She looked hella cool. She looked really cool.
Did I miss any awards?
Yeah, we have the Freddie versus Jason showdown and/or match of the week.
Oh, shit.
Abaddon.
You liked Abaddon taking on Kiera Hogan. That was
Absolutely. I liked the Vikingo match. Like, I loved the Abaddon match, but a luchador. Give me a luchador, and I'll fuck yeah, every time. Do a flip.
It was really good. I love that match too. I thought Collision had a lot of good in-ring matches. I'm gonna go with Danielson Kingston, just because I just thought the storytelling was so good. I really liked it.
Between the eye patch and Kingston's outfit, it kind of looked like a bum fight.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, it did kind of actually. Brian Danielson with I wonder if like he went to the store and they were like, "You need an eye patch, huh?" And he was like, "Give me the biggest one you got."
Yeah, one that like covers my whole face.
That eye patch was next level. He looked funny. It actually,
at the next match, someone's gonna have to unmask his ass like a luchador.
Yeah, it was seriously, it was comically large. Like, it looked funny. But that's it. I mean, I think that's
the show.
That's the show. So once again, we have to cut promos. Yes, and Brendan, we no longer promote. We cut promos. I mean, you've watched wrestling, right?
Yes.
So wrestlers aren't like, you can catch me at the Thunderdome on the 2nd. Like, no, they're like, listen here, brother, you could catch me at the Thunderdome. So we do promos now. So Brendan, give me a promo. Come on, promo me, daddy ass.
Y'all need to go first. I need to see how this goes, and then I'll gracefully come out and do my thing.
All right. I'll go first.
Okay, go, Mr. Harley. Let's do it.
Ronda Rousey might be the baddest bitch on the planet, but I'm the meanest bitch on the planet. I am Mistress Harley, dominatrix extraordinaire. You can find my music, my podcast on Spotify, Pandora, everywhere music and streaming is sold. I'm also the author of The Scam Book for Guys Who Love to Lose, an instant scam, available everywhere books are sold. Go, Johnny.
That was fucking solid, Mistress Harley. I have to give you props for that.
Mistress Harley's always solid.
Not a single moment wasted in that promo. I am going to I'll cut my promo like Jake the Snake used to. I see you in the shadows, the darkness. You got to emerge to a comedy club. If you're in Sacramento, there's only one thing you need to do. New Year's Eve, you ain't got shit going on. What about the day before? Probably nothing. You got to rise from your cave. Come out to the Sacramento Punchline. December 30th, I will be a guest on Doug Loves Movies with Doug Benson. And then the next night, I'll be performing stand-up comedy with Doug Benson, also known as the guy from Doug Loves Movies. Come out. Don't be a bitch. There we go.
I love that.
Brendan, cut a promo.
How you doing? Okay, you all know me by this point, and if you don't, just Google me. Anyways, so on December 12th, the physical release of my latest movie, Megalodon the Frenzy, that's the wrong wording, but the film is coming out physically on DVD in America. So buy it because I said so. And it makes a great Christmas gift. Fun, campy, exciting. You need that little summer flair in the winter because half the world is fucking freezing right now. It's even LA is too cold. And this will kind of give you that little summer fun during the winter. So go out there and buy it and support the film.
You can pre-order that shit on Amazon. I already did.
Yes, girl. I'll sign it for you.
In case you're wondering, I play unicorn boat victim in Megalodon Frenzy. Listen closely. You can hear
the screams of terror.
You can hear my scream if you listen closely. Also, Diana has the Christmas special for the last drive-in. When's that coming out, Mrs. Charlie? Do we know?
I believe that's coming out December 15th on Shudder and AMC Plus, my friends.
So watch, because support the queen, the icon, the legend.
And she will be back with us next podcast. She promised. I promise I will come and get her if she does not show.
Yeah, it's going to be, we're going to probably kick that out Thursday in the daytime. It's going to be good. But yeah, please watch The Last Drive-In. Friend of the podcast, Joe Bob Briggs. Also, I know her makeup's going to look impeccable.
Oh my God. Quick kissing ass, Johnny. One more time, we are the Awesome Pod. We are not like other wrestling podcasts, and we will be covering more AEW the next time you hear our pretty, pretty voices.
Namaste, W.
Namaste, W. Live long and prosper.